So this live will be starting in just 4 minutes. Yes, we'll be starting it off in at 8:15 exactly. So today we'll be starting with arrays. So welcome to the live session. Exactly at 8:15 we'll be starting this session. So let us go with the arrays first. So this is our day 1. So day 1 of 30 days DSA grind, right? So we'll be starting with the arrays. I'll explain you the arrays and also the problems. So today I'll be solving 4 problems and giving 4 problems for your practice. So in these 30 days you will be solving more than like 6 into 30 are nothing but more than 6 into 30 are nothing but at least 180 problems, more than 180 problems till you go off this 30 days live DSA grind. So let us start with what are these arrays. Now, let me tell you, first thing is let me write R and again Sai and then Sidhu, right? So these are nothing but strings, right? Now, if I write like 784 are the subscriber count, and then today's date is 9, and the month is October, and also the year is 2025. If you see, all these are numbers and all of these are strings. So here I got strings and here I got integers, right? So if you see, all these are similar. So let me write it like similarity, and then this is the similarity, and then here I said these are strings and also these are integer types. So what does it mean? It is nothing but the data type, right? Now after R is stored, then the concurrently Sai, this word will be stored, and then Sidhu will be stored. Then after that 784 will be stored, and then 9 will be stored, then 10, and then 2025. So these are stored contiguously. So if I have to go with the definition of arrays, arrays are nothing but a data structures which are stored stored for elements of similar. If you see here, I am taking this similar data types which are stored contiguously, right? So data structure arrays is nothing but a data structure which are stored, which are used to store, which are used to store elements of similar data type, right? So elements of similar data type, contiguous. So let me write it as in contiguous memory locations, in contiguous memory locations. So that means Here, if R is stored, then continuously after that, Sai, this word will be stored, and then Sidhu will be stored. I think you got what is the definition for the array. Array is nothing but a data structure which uh, are used to store elements of similar data type in contiguous memory locations. Now, let us see how can we initialize this array. So in C++ or in C, we can initialize this as array, right? And then we will initialize the size as this. So that means we can only store 6 elements. Now, if I want to access array of 6, right? C out array of 6, nothing but we are printing C out is nothing but used to print array of 6. It will give me a runtime error. I'll tell you why this runtime error is occurring. So array of 6, how can we access? So that's what the problem. Accessing the array elements. You might say, you might say that for this array 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 8, you might say to access the sixth element, you might probably anyone who doesn't know or new to this programming, they might say array of 6, but it is not the point here. So we need to start the indexing from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So first, array of 0 will give you 1, array of 1 will give you 2, array of 2 will give you 4, and then array of 3 will give you 5, array of 4 will give you 3, and then array of 5 will give you 8. So the indexing is from indexing is from 0 to n minus 1, where n is nothing but size of array, right? So this is how the indexing of array is. But however, we'll be using vector int many times, vector of int many of times in C++ because LeetCode mostly uses this vector of int. Why? Because we can just use the pushback operation and also pop back operation and also many more operations like sorting and many more, right? So we are given with the vector of int, and also we'll be using this vector of int throughout all the problems in this 30 days DSA grind. So vector of int, you need to be remembering this vector of int. Now we have understood the arrays, how it is stored, what is the definition, and also what are the indices, and also how can we access the array elements. Now how can we get the maximum element from the array? So excuse me, largest element in the array. So without sorting, we need to get the largest element in the array. Let us say the array elements are 10, 1, 2, 24, 56, 101, 22 or 23, right? So this is the array given to us. I need to get the largest element from this, sorry, the greatest element or largest element. So by seeing, we can say that 101 is the largest, but for this we need to write the loop. So how can we write the loop? First thing, loop, let me write the algorithm. So many of the people go to the code directly without writing the algorithm, which is a blunder and also a mistake which I used to do when I started this coding. So first we need to write the algorithm for even the small problems which we are starting. Algorithm and then code, right? So what is the algorithm for this? First thing, loop from 0 to n minus 1 if the element is maximum change or update the answer, right? So let me be clear. We need to change the answer when the array element which we are at is greater. So we need to change the answer. That means we need to have an answer previously. So what I say is these array elements all are in integer range, not long or don't be very a big number. So it will be in integer range. Now, what is the minimum value in integer range in C++? It is nothing but int minimum, which is also referred to as minus infinity, right? So it is nothing but the negative infinity, which is the least value in integer range. So I'll initialize answer as int min. Now, if the element which I am going through in the loop, if it is greater than this answer, then I will just change or update my answer. How can I write the code for this by using this algorithm? I'll tell you how. This is a simple one, but we'll be going through the uh, toughest problems in coming days, right? So first, let us start by line. Answer is equal to int min. So I'll just take answer is equal to int min. Now loop from 0 to n minus 1. How can I know that n is already there? I'm saying that 0, the code knows what a 0 is, but it doesn't know what does this n mean. So int n is equal to array dot size, so that you can get the size of the array. Now, as I said, 0 to n minus 1. Why? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The size of the array is 7. But the indices, it will go till only 6. So, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than or equal to n minus 1. Now, I am saying that I is less than or is equal to n minus 1. Instead, I can write less than 7 so that it can only go till 6. So, let me write it less than 7. How can I write it? Less than n, that's it. Now, I plus plus, then I will go with if the element is maximum than the answer, then we'll update the answer, right? So if answer is less than the current number, how can I get the current number? Array of I. So array of I is greater than the answer, so the answer will be array of I. So this is how you get the largest element in the array. Now, without wasting our time, let us see how can we solve best time to buy and sell stock. Let us understand how can we get through this problem. So if you have any doubts in the previous one, so this one largest element in the array, or you have any concern or anything, any suggestion about this, or if you didn't understand anything about the arrays, please let me know. And if you want to get the details of this 30 days DSA grind, please let ask me in the live chat. So I need to give you the problem link. Let me give you that. Right. So you can ask me the doubts in the live chat. Right. I'll be giving you the link of the problem best time to buy and sell stock. This is the lead code problem. So it will be going through greedily and also an easy problem. So please let me know in the live chat if you have any doubts. So this is the 30 days DSA live session, right? I need to pin this, right? So we'll be going through from we'll be going through from arrays to DB, right? And also there will be a uh, revision class at the end. That means the 30th day, right? So we'll be solving the best time to buy and sell stock. If you have any doubts, I'm thinking that no one is having any doubt, right? So let us see. Let's understand what is given in this problem first, and then let us go with the algorithm. Best time to buy and sell stock, right? So you are given an array prices where prices of I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. So we are only given with a stock, and also the prices are vary. That's what I understood till now. I have already solved this, but I'm solving this again for this DSA sessions, right? So best time to buy and sell stock. So this is the first problem in today's live session 121. Best time to buy and sell stock, right? So what is given in the problem first? You are given an array, right? That is the first thing. We are given with the array where prices of I is the price of a given stock on the ith day. You want to maximize your profit by choosing a single day to buy one stock and choosing a different day in the future to sell that stock. Return the maximum profit you can achieve from this transaction. If you cannot achieve any profit, return zero. So let us go with what is given in the constants first. So constants are too large 10 power 5. So the n prices dot length, this array size can go till 10 power 5, and prices of I, the value of this prices of I, price of stock, array values can be going till 10 power 4. So I think you understood till now what I want to say you, right? So let us go with the first example here 71536 4. First thing 71536 and then 4. Let me be clear. What is the best day to buy and sell stock for the given prices? Please let me know. Right? 7154536 4. So what is the best day to buy and also sell the stock? So what I think is buying the stock at the day 0 will be having will be like we need to get this selling buying price as 7, and we need a value greater than this, so that we can get profit, right? So if you see after 7, I don't have anything which is greater, right? So I don't have which is greater than this 7. So let us go to 1. If you see 1 and 5 is giving me the difference, nothing but the profit of 4. 1 and 3 is giving me the profit of 3 minus 1, nothing but 2. 1 and 6 is giving me the profit of 5. 1 and 4 is giving me the profit of 3. Okay, for now I understood that I can get these profits, right? 4 or 2 or 5 or 3. But we need the maximum profit. So for now we'll select 5 as our answer. Now let us go to 5. 5 and 3. So if you see, you might say that I will go to 5 and get 3, right? 5 and 3. The difference is nothing but buying the stock at 5 and selling it at 3 will result in negative values. Nothing but 3 minus 5 will give you minus 2. We need to get the profit, not loss. Even then, I am considering minus 2. But from minus 2 and 5, 5 is the greater. So, for now, the answer is 5. 5 and 6 again. 6 minus 5 is 1. But from all the values, 5 is the maximum. So, our answer will be 5 itself. 5 and 4 minus 1. But still, 5 is the greatest, right? Now 3 and 6 will give me 3. Still 5 is the largest. 3 and 4, 4 minus 1, 4 minus 3 is 1. Now we are left with 6 and 4 minus 2 here, right? So 5 is the answer. I think 5 is the answer. Yes, 5 is the answer. Buy on day 2, price is equal to 1, and sell on day 5, price is equal to 6. 6 minus 1 is 5, right? So what I understood is I need to buy it at the when it is the lowest price and sell when it goes high. But we won't solve it in the optimized way. First, we go to the brute force, what I'll get in the mind, and then we will go to the better and then the optimal if it is possible, right? So what is the brute force approach? Let me write it over here itself. Best time to buy and sell stock, right? So I have done all this here, right? So best time to buy and sell stock. Wait a second. First thing, best time to buy and sell stock. First thing is brute force. I am doing the brute force approach for this. Let me tell you how I can go. So I went to 7 and got the difference 7 minus 1, 1 minus 7. Sorry, 1 minus 7, it is giving me minus 6. However, I don't consider it. 7 and 5 minus 2, 7, and then so on. So I am fixing a pointer here, I, and then j will start from here and and I'll get the difference as array of j minus array of I. Now, if the difference is if the difference is greater than 0, then only our answer will be updated, right? Then only, then only update the answer. But how least the answer might be? You might also get this question, right? How can we initialize the answer? We need to initialize it as 0, or we need to initialize it as int minimum, right? So you might say that int minimum is the best one. It is a best one, but you might get an array like this. I'll tell you how. First, 5, 3, 2, 1. Now 5 and 3, it is negative, we don't consider. 3 minus 5 is minus 2, we don't consider. 2 minus 5 is minus 3, we don't consider. 1 minus 5 is minus 4, we don't consider. Then 2 minus 3 is minus 1, we don't consider. 1 minus 3 is minus 2, we don't consider. 1 minus 2 is minus 1, we don't consider. We are considering nothing, and you have initialized answer as int minimum. Now it's the time to return at the end. Return the answer at the end. What will you return? We will return int minimum. Why? Because nothing has changed. Answer has not been updated. So we will return int minimum as the answer, and it will give you a error in the submission. So we will initialize the answer as 0 so that we can return it at the end if you don't have a perfect day or best time to buy and sell the stock. So the answer is initialized to 0. So I am just writing the algorithm. You can write your code in your language. It might be Python or Java or C, but I'll be using C++ to write the code. So if difference is greater than 0, then only update answer. If not, will not be updating. So we'll be using two for loop here. We'll be using two for loops here. Wait a second. So first the I will be starting from the I will be starting from 0 and also j. J will start from I plus 1. I plus 1. Now you buy here, you buy here and then sell afterwards. So j will be at I plus 1. So for I is equal to 0, wait a second, I need to change the size. For I is equal to 0 till less than n, and for j is equal to I plus 1 and it will go till less than n. Now that's it, we'll return the answer at the end. Let me do the code. Wait a second, let me do the code for this. Let me see whether it runs or not. So I am just running the brute force, and if you knew any optimized approach for this buy and sell stock 121 easy question, I have given the problem link in the comment section or live chat. You can go and check there. So I'll be starting this. First thing we have also missed here is n is equal to nums, prices here, prices dot size, right? So first int answer is equal to 0 and n is equal to prices dot size, and then for int I is equal to 0, I is less than, and I widths I plus plus for int j is equal to I plus 1, j is less than n, j plus plus. If first thing we need to get the difference, right? Int difference is equal to array of j minus array of I. Why? Because we buy the stock at I and then sell it at j. Buy at I pointer, sell at j pointer. So when we are selling price minus buying price will give you the profit. So j minus I, array of j minus array of I. So if the difference is greater than 0, then only update the answer. So answer will be the difference. No, not at all. Why? Because the difference is greater, but it is not said that this difference is greater than the answer. It is just greater than 0. We might get a difference just 2 and the answer as 5. Now, every time answer is equal to difference, that's what I did. So answer will be updated with 2, but we need the maximum profit, but we went to 2. That's what the mistake here. So if I'm doing any mistakes, please let me know here, right? If difference is greater than 0, and also this answer is less than difference, then only update the answer. I think this runs for the test cases given in the description. Difference is equal to array, so we need to change these as array, right? I'm just changing these as array. Instead of price, I'm writing it as array. So it got accepted for the test cases, but I am feeling like it might get a TLE for the bigger test cases. I'm thinking like that. So yes, we got the TLE for submitting the code, but let us see what is the time complexity here. Let us see what is the time complexity. So if you see the time complexity took for this is n, and then this is also n. For every element we are going through n iterations. So big O of n into big O of n is nothing but big O of n square, if I am not wrong. So the time complexity is taking big O of n square. However, the memory I think memory, right? No, space complexity, the memory it is taking is nothing but big O of 1, right? So we are not taking any additional space, so the space complexity is big O of 1 itself. Now, do you have any optimized or better approach then please let me know in the live chat. Please let me know in the live chat. So we'll be going through the optimized approach, however, which I need to I need to go down from big O of n squared to big O of n, right? So there is an approach for this to get to big O of n. I will do it, however, but if you have any thoughts or if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat, right? So I went to the brute force first, and let me go with the optimized approach. Optimized approach. So if you see, I need the minimum price for buying the stock, and then the maximum price to sell. Let me take an example for you. Uh, if you see 38251749, 38251749, 38251749. From this, let me know what is the profit which we can make. So please let me know in the live chat what is the maximum profit that we can get. Best time to buy and sell stock. So if anyone is new to our channel and this live session, so we are solving the best time to buy and sell stock. So we need to get the maximum profit. So how can we solve this? How can we solve this in an optimized way, right? Right, 38251749. First, what if, just what if I I have the minimum day, minimum price? I'll tell you why. So I am having this 9, right? So when I get to this 9, the minimum number I need so that I get the maximum profit. I need the minimum number to get the maximum profit, right? So how can we build the logic here? So when we need the maximum profit, we need to remove the minimum number from the maximum number, then only we can get the maximum profit, right? So when I went to this 9, I just hope that I if I had known that previously I got 1, that if I knew that previously I got 1, then I would get the difference easily. 9 minus 1 is equal to 8, and I will be returning the answer there itself. But how do I store this 1? But I went to 4. Now, if you see, you might say 9 minus 4 is 5, but it is not the maximum. The maximum is still 8. Now you might say 9 minus 7 is 2, but still this profit 2 as the profit is not greater than 8. 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. So, what I want to tell you is I need to get the maximum profit, so that I need to store the minimum number. Store the minimum number every time. Now, let us take the example again, 38251749, 38251749. Now, 3, I'm just saying that the minimum value is int minimum. Now, maximum profit. I need to return this maximum profit at the end. Now, the maximum profit is, let me tell you what is the maximum profit. Maximum profit is nothing but this array of I, array of I minus minimum. I'll tell you why I'm using this array of I minus minimum, because every time here I got a 5, right? But if I knew this 2 is present previously, then I would just do 5 minus 2 and then get 3 as the profit, right? The current profit. So let me tell you, maximum profit is equal to array of I minus minimum. But if you see, this is not the maximum every time. This is just the current one. Currently, I am at I, so I am saying that this is this might be the maximum one, but it is not. The maximum might be having like 100 is my maximum, but here what if I just get as 12 as the current profit? Then we should not change this 100. Maximum profit is 100 itself. So current profit is equal to array of I minus minimum, right? Now, as I am saying you, that current profit is equal to array of I minus minimum. In minimum is our mini. Let me tell you, after that I am going through every I pointer. I have this 3 and then 8 2 5 1 7 4 9 3 minus minimum, array of I minus minimum. You might say that 3 minus something like 3 minus of minus infinity, right? This will go even lesser, right? So it is nothing but it will go still like int minimum. Let us say it will be like int minimum, right? So the current profit is int minimum, and I will say you the maximum profit that I got will be also int min, right? Then the minimum, I'm saying that the minimum is not int min anymore. Why? Because I went to 3 and 3 is something like, sorry, wait a second. Int mini is will be something like, here the max profit will be int min, but the minimum value will be max. So mini is nothing but int max. Now array of I is 3. 3 minus int max, 3 minus mini will be something like negative value. So I just set that int minimum. Now maximum profit is still int minimum, right? Now minimum is not int max anymore. Int max is nothing but the infinite value. Now I am changing it to 3. Then let me go to the next element, which is 8. So the I pointer will be moving to 8. Then I got this 8. Let me tell you what is the current profit. Array of I is 8. Array of I is 8. Now the minimum, mini is equal to 3. So 8 minus 3 is 5. Now see here, int minimum and current, sorry, maximum profit and current profit. This current profit which I got from 8 minus 3 is way greater than negative infinity. This int minimum is nothing but negative infinity. So I'll just change it to 5. Then mini is still 3. I went to 8, but from 8 and 3, 3 is the minimum one. Let us go to the next element, 2. Now I got the array of I as 2. 2 minus what is the minimum? It is 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. But from maximum profit and current profit, the maximum is still 5. I got minus 1 as the current profit, but the maximum is still 5. But the minimum from array of I, this is my array of I, and this minimum is 3. But if you see, 3 will not be the minimum element anymore. Why? Because 2, I went to 2 and I got an element which is much more minimum than what I am thinking, right? No. So it will be updated to array of I. Now let us go to the next element, which is nothing but 5. So I got 5. 5 is array of I. 5 minus mini. Mini is nothing but 2 here. So 5 minus 2 is 3. But if you see from current profit and maximum profit, maximum is still 5. So no need to change the maximum profit. But when I go to array of I, it is 5 and mini is 2. So from 2 and 5 still 2 is the min. Let us go to the next element, which is 1. Right. Now I got 1. 1 is array of I. And what is the minimum? Minimum is 2. 1 minus 2 is nothing but minus 1. From minus 1 and 5, the maximum profit is 5. So 5 will be not changed. The maximum profit will not be changed. Now, then if you see, mini is 2. But it is saying that array of I is 1. From 1 and 2, 1 is the minimum. So I am changing mini to 1. Let's go to the next element, 7. Now the element is 7. 7 is array of I, and what is the minimum? Minimum is 1. Minimum is 1. If you see, minimum is 1. So 7 minus 1 will give you 6, right? Maximum profit will be changed to 6 because current profit from 7 minus 1 I got, which I got the profit greater than what I got from 8 minus 3, 5. So 7 minus 1 is 6. So 6 is greater. This profit is greater than the previous profit. So I'll change it to 6. Then let me go to the next element, which is 4. Now now if you see, mini will not be changing. Why? Because 1 is minimum from 7 and 1. So 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. If you see, the maximum profit is 6. Now current profit is just 3. No need to change. Why? Because maximum 6 is already maximum. Now let us go to the next element. But before, the minimum is 1. However, it is already minimum from 4 and 1. 1 is already minimum, so no need to change. Let us see and go to the last element, 9. 9 minus 1 will give you 8. So this 8 is greater than the maximum profit. So I'll change it to 8. Now mini, no need to change. 1 is even lesser than 9. So the maximum profit will return is 8. So we are solving this even in lesser time in big O of n. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. So we'll be coding this. However, first thing, minimum is initialized. Let me tell you, int mini is initialized to int max, and then max profit, wait a second, max profit is initialized to 0 and current profit is initialized to 0. Then for int I is equal to 0, I is lesser than array dot size and I plus plus. Then if you see, first I have initialized int max mini, max profit, and also current profit. So after that I will go and iterate from 0 to n minus 1. Now every time what I am doing, first thing, I'm just changing update mini, and then get current profit. How do I get the current profit? I already wrote it here. Current profit is nothing but array of I minus minimum. Then update the maximum profit. That's it. Update the maximum profit, and then at the end return the maximum profit. That's it. This is how we solve the problem. This is just the algorithm. I'll be writing the code. So first thing, mini is equal to minimum of mini comma array of I. Then I'll be getting the current profit. Current profit is equal to array of I minus what I wrote here, array of I minus minimum. Then max profit is equal to maximum of max profit comma current profit. From max profit and current profit, I'll be updating the max profit and at the end return max profit. So this is how you solve this. I'm just running the code. Hope it runs. Yes, got accepted. I'm submitting the code now. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. Right? So we have successfully solved the first problem in this 30 days DSA live grind. So this is the day one. We'll be solving the arrays, and we still have three more problems. The next problem is two sum, and then the third problem uh, two sum, and then maximum subarray, and then product of array except self. Right? So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. We'll be going to the two sum. Right? So we have solved this best time to buy and sell the stock. So we'll be going to the two sum problem. However, we'll be going from two bigger of n square to like bigger of n. Yes, we'll be going from bigger of n square to bigger of n. And also the space complexity will also increase as we'll be using the hash map, right? So give you let me give you the problem link in the description. All everyone might be knowing about this to some problem. Yes, I'll be sharing you the to some problem description in just a few seconds. To some lead code, right? So I'll be sharing the link in the live chat. So I'll also give you four questions for solving or practice so that you will be going through and solving more than 180 problems till you end this, right? So in this 30 days, you will be solving more than 180 problems. So it will cover every topic and in DSA from arrays to the 2D DP, right? So 3D DP will also be covering at the 30th day, the last day. And also there will be one extra day where we'll be revising all topics at a glance, right? So we have solved the first problem. Let us move to the second problem. I have given the link for the problem in the description. So to some problem is just a simple problem. Given an array of integers nums and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. Let me tell you what is given in the problem. So to some wait a second to some problem to some problem. So what is given in the problem is nothing but we are given with an array and also a target. We need to return the indices so that this two sum uh, will be giving you the target, right? So how can we write this in a brute force way? What I got a thought when I solved this is I just went through writing this brute force solution. I'll tell you how. What is the brute force? What is coming into my mind? What I thought in my mind for first thing is how can I solve this is by selecting elements. Select two elements and get the sum. If sum is equal to target, return indices. That's it, return indices. So if my writing is so bad, please excuse me. Select two elements and get the sum. If sum is equal to target, return indices. But how can I get the elements? Select two elements. How can I select those two elements? Let me tell you. I got 2, 7, 11 and 15, and the target is given as 9, but I will not give you something like this. Let me tell you, I'll just take this away and let me change the problem like 2 and then 11 and then 9 and then 7 and then 15. So if you see, let me take the elements as this. First I will take 2 and then I will add it with 11. So 2 plus 11 is equal to 13 is not equal to target. Then I have took 2 and 11. Now I also want to take 2 and 9. Let me see whether it will give you, or if it will give the target. The sum will give the target. So 2 plus 9 is giving me 11, which is not equal to target. Why? Because target is 9. Now 2 and 7, 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. It is equal to the target. What I did here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I started from 1 and then went to 2 and then 3, and I got 0 comma 3 as the answer, right? 0 and 3 as the answer, but 2 is there. This pointer is there here itself. This has moved here and then here, and here I got at 3, I got the answer, right? So when I was at 0, I started the next number, indexing the next number from I plus 1. So I will be starting from 0 and going till n and then I plus plus. But this j will start from I plus 1 and also go till j less than n and j plus plus. If these are nothing but the loops, that's what I wrote here. Now, if the sum, how do I get the sum? They are nothing but nums. Nums of I plus nums of j is equal to target. Then how can I return it? We can't return just by I comma j. No, we cannot return. We should return in vector of int. So we'll be returning it as return I comma j. But there is an error here. Why? Because if you write it like this won't be accepted. I'll tell you why. So first thing, we need to initialize n. So don't neglect it. Int n is equal to nums dot size. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. For int, wait second, for int j is equal to I plus 1, j is less than n, j plus plus. If nums, wait second, nums of I plus nums of j is equal to target, then what I need to do, I'll just return I comma j. As they said, we can return in any order. That's what they said, right? You can return, yes, you can return the answer in any order. So we can return I comma j, or we can return j comma I. It's our wish. So I have written here itself, but the algorithm is good and it is also fine. It might get an TLE, but what is the error here? Compile error. Error non-void function does not. Non-void function does not return a value in all control paths. What does it mean? Is nothing but we need to return something here, whatever it might be. We need to return something at the end. If not, here it is written. However, here it is written. The test cases are generated such that there will be exactly one solution. We can get that, but for this vector of int, this need to be returned at the end. something need to be written at the end, so I will place it like this, right? So vector of int is a, let me tell you what it is. They have given it, however. So non-void function, it is not a, it is a non-void function. So we are just using this return and empty array so that we don't get an error. So let me run it, and we'll be using the hash table or hash map. However, this will not be running. We'll be getting the TLE, however big of n square. It will be taking bigger of n square. Return, sorry, it is a compile error. So the time complexity here, I think yes, it got passed because the time because the constraints might be low. Nums dot length is 10 power 4. 10 power 4 into 10 power 4 is quite less. So, but if I am going from j is equal to 0, it might get a TLA. But we need to optimize it. This is just the brute force. We need to optimize it. Why? Because big O of n into big O of n for the I, index I, and also j. So big O of n into big O of n will give me big O of n square time complexity, which is not good, right? So how can I go with the better approach? Let me tell you. How can I go with the better approach? I'm just telling you what is the better approach. Let me tell you. First thing, how what if I'm having 2 1 2 11 9 7 15, 2 11 9 7 and then 15. I went to 2. I if you see, 9 minus 2 is 7, but if I go from the beginning, you might not understand, but let me go in reverse. 2 9 is the target. Let me tell you, x plus y is equal to target, right? That's what we need to sum. X plus y is equal to target. Now, when I am at y, we can also write it like this, right? Target minus x is equal to y. So, do I have this y previously? I'll write the statement here. The the pre, you know, the important one. Do I have this y value previously? Do I have the y value previously? That's what I am asking, right? I'll tell you how. First thing, let me make this y, however, like that only. The target is 9. Now 9 minus what is x? I am going from the last, right? So I have all these elements. I am saying that I have all these elements stored in somewhere. I know these elements are already present, right? So 9 minus what is x? 15. 9 minus 15 is, excuse me, 9 minus 15 is minus 6. So the y value is minus 6. What does it mean? Let me tell you. So y is equal to 9 minus 15. Nothing but y plus 15 is equal to 9. What I need to place at y? Nothing but minus 6. So do I have this y value previously? Let me check. So I doesn't have any y value previously, right? So it is not valid. What I'll do is I'll go to the next pointer. That's it. So previous one, I'll go to this 7, right? Now let me check. Do I have the y value? Let me get the y value first, and then let me check whether do I have the y value. Y is equal to target minus x. X is 7. The target is already 9 minus x is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. Do I have this y value previously. Let me check. Yes, I got this y value previously at index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. At index 0, I got 2 and the pair is at 3, right? So to get this, what I'll do is I will just take the elements and get the store the indices in a hash map, right? So let me go to this again, 2 11 9 7 15 or 2 11 9 7 15, and the target is given as 9. You might say that 9 is already there, right? So why we need to go and take two sum. We need to do that because we need two elements to get the two sum, right? So we need two elements so that we can get the we can return those indices, right? First, let me give the indices for this 0 1 2 3 4. Now, target is equal to 9. Let me go step by step. Here I am at 2. First, target minus x is equal to y. Y is nothing but 9 minus 2 is nothing but 7. Do I have a 7 in this hash map? Previously, I said, do I have this previously? But now I am saying that hash map. Do I have this in my hash map? No. Go to the next element, 11. 9 minus 11, but wait a second, wait a second. When I go to 11, I need to store all those elements. I need to store all these elements and the indices in this hash map, right? So 2 is present, 2 is present at index 0, right? So that if I get an element which summed with this 2 gives me a target, then I need to return that element's index and this 0. So that's why I am storing the element and also the index, right? So y is equal to 9 minus 2, which is nothing but 7. Now the x value changes, however, 9 minus 11. Now I am at 11. So 9 minus 11 is minus 2. Do I have a minus 2 here? No. So 11 is present at 1. I'll go to the next element, 9. Now 9 minus 9 is 0, right? So do I have a 0 here? No. So what I'll do is 9 is present at index 2, right? So I'll go to the next element, which is nothing but 7. So 9 minus 7 is equal to 2, right? But this 2 is present in this hash map at index 0. Where do I got this 7? I got this 7 at index 3. So 0 comma 3 will be returned. How can I write the algorithm for this? Initialize a hash map, int comma int, whatever the name might be. I am naming it as MP. Now, and size of array, and then for I is equal to 0 going till n, first thing is if target minus nums of I. How can I write this? I'll write it as difference, right? So if it is already present, right? So let me write it first. If difference int difference is equal to target minus nums of I, and if mp dot find difference, if this difference is already present in the unordered map, nothing but the hash map, so return what I am returning, the index where I got this and also the another number which is nothing but of MP of where do I got this, by difference, MP of difference, right? So I'll just return it and this is my for loop, and at the last to the code I'll just return the empty array. Let me write, let me do the code for this. First, the same thing here. Now I'm just changing something, something in this loop. But before that, let me initialize unordered map int comma int mp. Now, first thing, int difference is equal to target minus nums of I. Then if mp dot find difference is not is equal to mp dot end, then if it is present, then return, just return, wait a second, return I comma mp of difference, right? That's it. I have run the code. I hope it runs. No, the output is empty. mp return I comma mp of difference. The difference is 2. Yes. What is the error we are doing here is we are not updating. We are not updating the previous elements indices. If you see, I'm just going and saying that if I got this difference previously, then let me know. But the map is still empty. I have initialized it and I am just finding it. I am not changing it anywhere. So mp of nums of I is equal to I. So I need to write that mp of nums of I is equal to I. So that's the problem I did. So it got accepted. Let me do submit the code. Yes. So if you see the memory, the space complexity, let me tell you what is the space complexity and also what is the time complexity. Time complexity is, however, we are using only one loop, so it will give me bigger of n as the time complexity. What is the space complexity? If we store all the elements in the hash map, we'll get bigger of n. That's why it is giving me 14.92 MB, right? So we have successfully solved two problems today with arrays, with just the introduction of arrays. So let me take a break of 5 minutes so that we can start it at 9:25 p.m. We can just restart it, right? Or we can just resume it at 9:25 p.m. A 5 minutes of break. So until then, please go through these elements, these problems, and if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. Yes, we'll be starting this at 9:25 again. So the time complexity is bigger of n, and the space complexity is also bigger of n. As we are using hash map, we can also solve this by using two pointer, but we need the indices, not the elements. We are asked to find the indices instead of elements. If we are asked with the elements instead of these indices, so we can go with the two pointer approach, which takes even less, and also it is super optimized for that type of problem. So we just need to solve another two problems for this today's session. I might go only for an a hour more, right? We just solved two problems just now. So if anyone didn't subscribe to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, and we'll be getting the all coding type of videos and also explanations. So this will be 30-day DSA grind. We'll be starting with arrays. Today is the day one. It is we have started with arrays, we have solved the first problem as best time to buy and sell stock. Now we have solved just now two some problem, and then we'll be solving another two problems. Product of array except self. Excuse me, and then maximum subarray. So let me, I have already solved these problems, right? So the code is there itself, right? So this is twosome and this is product of array except self. So if you have any concerns, or if you want to see me right, if you have any optimized approach, please let me know in the comment section or live chat. So we'll be starting or resuming our live session at 9:25 p.m. in just 3 minutes. Yes, we'll be starting resuming this live session in 2 minutes. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. So yes, if anyone are new to this live chat, so please do subscribe to our channel, and we'll be having the coding problems, DSA problems, and also interview problems, right? Let us now solve this problem. Product of array except self, right? So there are some edge cases for this. We should not be afraid of that. This is a medium problem, however, right? So this is a medium problem, however, it is just due to the edge cases, nothing much. So I am pinning the comment, right? So yes, you can go to the live chat and you can get the problem link. So let us first understand what is given in the problem. Firstly, product of array except self. Given an array integer array nums, return an array answer such that answer of I is equal to the product of all elements of nums except nums of I. It might be looking a normal problem. We can just do a division operation. However, You might think like that, but I also thought it in the same way, but it is not as simple as it looks. But we can get even edge cases. I'll tell you what are those edge cases. So let us see what is going on by taking an example, right? So first thing, let me write what is given in the problem. Product of array except self. Product of 238. 238. Product of array except self. Except self. Product of array except self. So this is the problem, right? First thing, what is given in the problem? Let me tell you clearly that we are given with the nums array. Nums array. So the product of any prefix of nums is guaranteed to fit in a 32-bit integer, right? So we can only use, it is just easy to use only 32-bit integer. It can't go beyond integer range. That's what they are saying. You must write an algorithm that runs in big of n time and without using the division operation. But without using the division operation, we'll go in just few days in upcoming live session. But we'll be just solving this with using division operation, right? First thing, how can we get through this? We are given with the nums array and return answer. That's it, right? Answer array which gives the product of all elements except array of I, right? So let us take an example for this. 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? So what if the array is just nums array is just 1 2 3 4 5 and then 6, right? 1 2 3 4, they have took 1 2 3 4, but it is not as simple as it is shown in this problem. 1 2 3 4 5 6, let me tell you, the answer array will be 2 into 3, 6 4s are 24, 5s are 120, I think 126 are 720. 720. Then leaving 2, I need to get the product without 2. What I'll do, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6, I just need to neglect this 2. So what I'll do is just divide it by 2. So first thing, product, get product of all elements of nums array and divide. That's what I thought. That's the brute force solution for now, right? That's what the brute force way I thought. Brute force way I thought. First 720. Now after the 720, if I divide it by 2, I get 360. 360 into 2 is 720. Now 720 by 3 is nothing but 240, if I am not wrong, right? 720 by 3 is just 240. And what is 720 by 4 and 720 by 5 and 720 by 6? 240, and then 720 by 4 is just 180, and then 144 for 720 by 5, and then 120 for 720 by 6. So I got this answer array. However, it might be seem easy, but let us go with another problem. 12045. Let me give you the array 12045. Nums is 1, 2, 0, 4, and then 5. Let me tell you what is the answer. For this, the answer is for this 1. Except it itself, I need to get the product. 2 into 0 into 4 into 5, right? So 2 into 0 into 4 into 5 is nothing but 0 into something is 0. I need to get the product of every element except self. So neglecting 2, 1 into 0 into 4 into 5 is 0 again. Except itself, I need to get the product of every elements. Neglect 0 and get the product. 1 into 2 into 4 into 5. 5 fours 22 is 40. Then except itself, get the product of every element. 1 into 2 into 0 into 5. 0 into something is 0, however. Then except itself, get the product of every element. 1 into 2 into 0 into 4. 0 into something is 0, however. So I got 40 as the only element where I got 0. But what if the nums is given as 10405? I'll tell you what happens here. Right? 1. Except this, get the product of every element. 0 into 4 into 0 into 5, 0 into something is 0. Now, I got a 0, but except that element, get the product of every element. 1 into 4 is 4, into 0 is 0, into 5 is however 0. Okay, I am at 4. I am at 4, except 4, get the product of every element. 1 into 0 is 0, into 0 is 0, and into 5 is however 0. Then except this 0, get the product of every element. 1 into 0 is 0, and then into something 0 into something 0, so it is 0. Now it is 5. 1 at this point it is 5. 1 into 0 into 4 is 0, into 0 is something as 0. So what is the intuition for this is nothing but first thing, get product get product of every element. Now what if the elements have 0? Neglect those zeros, and also increment 0 count. Increment 0 count and get the index of get the index of first 0. I'll tell you what is this first 0 is. So I got only 1 0 here, and the product of every element instead or except that 0 is 5 fours are 20, 2s are 40, into 1 is 40. So at that index only the element is the product. Product will not be multiplied with 0. No, this will not happen. But if it is having only 1 0, then okay. If it is having more than 1 0, every time you take 0 0 0 any zeros, if it is greater than one time, it will give you a 0 array. This is called a 0 array. We also have 4 problems on 0 array transformation. However, it is like a hard problems. Okay, get the index of first 0. If increment 0 count, right? If 0 count is greater than 1, return 0 array. Okay, if 0 count is just 1. Now, if the 0 count is just 1, what I'll do is answer array at first 0, the index. First 0 index will be nothing but product, right? If 0 count is equal to 1, this is the thing. Else if these two doesn't satisfy, if there is no 0, then what we'll do is just iterate from I is equal to 0 till n. Answer of I is equal to product by array of I. That's it. Instead, it is not array, it is nums of I, right? So if else, this is the problem. So this is how you write the code. Let me write the code here and try whether it runs or not. First thing, int n is equal to nums dot size, right? Then int product is equal to 1. First thing, the product will be multiplied with only positive numbers or negative numbers also, but not 0. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus. First thing, 0 count, 0 count is equal to 0, and first 0, the index of first 0, right, it will be -1. However, first thing, if nums of I is equal to 0, then increment the 0 count, and first 0 is equal to I. That's it. Now, else, then only if nums of I is equal to 0, we don't consider it into our product. Product is equal to product into nums of I, right? Now, if the 0 count is greater than 1, right? So let me initialize a vector of int answer of n comma 0. Everything is initialized with 0. If 0 count is greater than 1, return 0 array. However, our answer array is 0 array, right? So if 0 count is equal to 1, answer, wait a second, answer is just ans, right? Answer of 0, first 0, first 0, first 0 is equal to product, right? So we are only multiplying with the product only if it is not equal to a 0. Else, if these two doesn't satisfy, that means the 0 count is 0, right? Else, what I'll do, for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, answer of I is equal to product by nums of I, nums of I. Then at the last, return answer. That's it. Let me just run it. Wait a second. Let me see whether it has any errors. No, it got accepted. Let me submit it. Yes, it got accepted. Okay, we got through the third problem till now. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the comment section or the live chat. So we'll be solving this maximum subarray with cadence algorithm, which is just easy. This might not be even feeling like a cadence algorithm, but we'll be using the cadence algorithm in upcoming live sessions. So it would be somewhat hard. So this 30 days live sessions will be covering more than 180 problems. Today we have covered 4 problems. So I request you to start from 8:15 so that I'll be getting starting this live session at sharp 8:15 p.m. and it might go till 10 o'clock 10 p.m. right, for 2 hours. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. Yes, so we'll be starting in just 5 minutes, right? So we'll be starting this in just 5 minutes, resuming it. Next, we will be solving this problem, maximum subarray, right? So okay, let us start this maximum subarray without any weightings, right? Given an array nums, find the subarray with the largest sum and return its sum, right? So we need to get the find the subarray with the largest sum. Uh, we need to return the sum. Instead, we just need to return the sum. We are not asked with the indices. However, let me tell you what it means. What does a subarray mean? I need to be this session as interactive. Please answer to my questions. First, maximum subarray 53, maximum subarray, right? So let me take an example here. First, nums is given as nums is given as 4 minus 2, 3 minus 1, 2 minus 3 and then 6. Okay. What is what is the maximum subarray sum? Please let me know in the live chat. Maximum subarray sum. Please let me know in the live chat. Those who are, even if you are 5 members, please let me know in the live chat what will be the maximum subarray sum. Whether is it 3, 2, 6 or 4, whatever it might be, please let me know in the comment section that what is the maximum subarray sum. You might be knowing what is the subarray, right? So what is the maximum subarray sum for this? Okay. What is the maximum subarray sum for this array? What is the maximum subarray sum for this array? I think it might be 4, 3, 2 or 6. So it might be 6. I'm thinking like it might be 6, right? So maximum subarray, I am thinking like 6 will be the maximum subarray sum. So that if you see 6 and minus 3 might give me, even if I go to 6 and minus 3, it is giving me 3. It is just reducing my sum. So I am assuming that the maximum sum might be 6. So if you agree with this or if you don't agree with this, please let me know in the comment section. Yes. Maximum subarray, I need to give you the link. So as I give you the link, please let me know in the live chat that whether 6 is our maximum subarray or not. If you yes, yes, we'll be starting this in just 2 minutes, right? So what is the maximum sum that I can get? Um, uh, I'm saying this as, let me tell you, for 4 4 minus 2 3 minus 1 2 minus 3 6 is 6 or no? We'll be starting this at 9:50 p.m. exactly. We have solved the two sum and also max product of array except self, and now we are solving maximum subarray, right? I'm thinking like 6 will be our maximum subarray sum, right? Yes, we'll be starting in just 2 minutes, right? So what will be what will be the maximum subarray sum for the given nums array, right? Yes, we'll be starting this maximum subarray, solving this maximum subarray, right? Okay. So we are having this maximum subarray. So every time if I take this minus 2, 1, minus 3, 4, minus 2, 1, 3, 1, minus 3, 4, minus 1, 2, 1, minus 5, and then 4. So this is my nums array. So if I take the sum as minus 2 and the maximum will be int minimum, int minimum. So I got minus 2 which is, excuse me, which is greater than int minimum. So I'll change it to minus 2. Then 1 minus 2 is minus 1 which is greater. Let me change it. Now 1 minus 3 minus 2. But if you see, what if I don't change it to minus 1 and start instead with 1 itself? What if nums of I is even itself is greater than the maximum, right? So what I'll do, I'll just change it. If the uh, if you see this nums of I itself is greater than maxi. Now every time I'll change the sum by adding nums of I, and then if this sum is greater than maxi, and I'll just change or update the maxi to the sum, and if the sum is less than 0, and I'll just change the sum to 0. Now here if you see, it is going to minus 2, so that I will change it to 0 and then I'll add this 1 to the sum, then I'll get 1. Now 1 minus 3 is giving me minus 2, but again if I get 4, then I'll just change to just change it to minus 2 first when I got minus 3, and then as I got minus 2 which is lesser than 0, so I'll just change sum to 0 and then get 4. So this is how it works. So let me code this over. This is just an easy problem, right? So int n is equal to nums dot size sum is equal to 0, maxi is equal to int minimum. Int, wait a second, minimum. Then for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus sum plus is equal to nums of I. If this sum is greater than maxi, maxi is equal to sum. Else, first thing, if sum is less than 0, then just make sum is equal to 0, and at the last return maxi. I'm just running the code. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the live chat, right? Okay, we have accepted the code. The code has been accepted, right? So the day one practice problems are these: running sum of 1D array. This is the first problem. And subarray sum equals k. This is the second problem. And then find the highest altitude. This will be the third problem. And I also give you this problem links in the description. Go and check it, and also comment it in the video. After this will be posted as a video, so don't miss solving these problems and also the live sessions, so that every time you attend the live session you will be solving 4 problems, and also you will be solving 3 to 4 problems as a practice. So you will be solving more than 180 problems in these 30 days. So I'll be ending this live session in just 7 minutes, right? So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the comment section, right? So we just need 12 subscribers to hit 800 subscriber count, right? So we'll be ending this session in just 6 minutes at 10 p.m. exactly. Yes, we'll be having these live sessions every day. This is the day one, and we'll be going through these live session from day by day from arrays to TP. So these 30 days will be solving problems like from recursion and also prefix sum, two pointers, sliding window, trees, graphs, uh, and also there is DB, right? All these problems will be solving in these 30 days itself, right? Yes, we'll be ending this session in just 5 minutes. So if you are having any doubts, please let me know in the live chat. We have completed with the day one task of solving these four problems. So, uh, yes, we'll be going with the day two tomorrow at exactly 8:15 p.m. We'll be ending this live session in just 4 minutes. So we'll be having these live sessions every day for 30 days. So this is our day one. We have solved arrays, right? So let us do a quick recap of what we have did till now, right? First we have started with what are these arrays? Day one of 30 days. DSA grind, strings type and also int type. So DS data structure which are used to store elements of similar data type in contiguous memory locations. So similar data type elements are stored contiguously, contiguous memory locations. And so this is how we initialize, and also how can we access. So we cannot access the array size itself. Why? Because the indexing is from 0 to n minus 1. Why? Where n is size of array. Then we'll be, as I said, using vector of int more than this array. So largest element in the array, we are going through these elements and answer is initialized to minimum. Loop will be starting from 0 and ending at n minus 1. And if the element is maximum, change or update the answer. Now best time to buy and sell stock, we went through the big O of n square brute force approach, and then we went to the optimized approach. So if we knew that we got a minimum one before, so that's why we are storing the minimum and then the maximum profit and also updating the current profit every time. And then for the two sum problem, we went through the brute force, which is taking big O of n square time complexity, which already run, which has accepted, but we are going with the better approach where x plus y is equal to target. So we need to find y, target minus x. X is nothing but nums of I. So we went through the dry run also, and then we have coded up, and then product of array except self. So we are going with nums, and also we need to get the answer such that product of all elements except array of I is present. So we went through the brute force, but then it is just the optimized way, right? Get product of array element, then neglect 0 while getting the product. Why? Because if we are having a 0, we get all the product itself as 0. Then increment the 0 count, and if it is a 0, increment the 0 count, get the index of first 0. Now if the 0 count is greater than 1, return the 0 array, and if 0 count is equal to 1, answer of first 0, nothing but the index where I got the 0 is made as product. For int, the sum is greater than maxi, update the maxi, and at the last return maxi. I think this live session is hopefully uh, was a good thing for you, right? It You might be learning something from this live session. So please do like this video and also share to your friends who also want to join this DSA grind for 30 days. So thanks for attending this live.